Welcome to our Fitness Thursday, and it's the last one from me for a week. So no lives for a week, unfortunately. No mobility either. However, the classes are coming here with a guest instructor each day. Apart from tomorrow, where we'll just be doing like a time, so they'll set up a circuit. Anyway, at home, no bother, I'll just see you in a week. Maybe go back and do some old ones. There's plenty of options there for you. Right, today then we've got the Terminator. Nathan the finisher, which we'll get to in due course. Before that, we've got some Tabata rounds, and it's all body weight and hand weights today, so no kettlebells required. Just some lightish dumbbells is all you're going to need, okay? Let's get warmed up first, and then we'll go through the details. Intense chest stretch. Loose on the shoulders. Right, our usual four. 30 seconds on each. Let's start with some jacks. Get my moderate up. we're doing Tabata, descending set Tabata. 3 exercises, and you will end up doing 10 sets of each of those 3. We're doing 30 sets total. So Tabata is 20 seconds full tilt, 10 seconds recover. And we're going to do a 4-3-2-1 formation. We're going to do 4 sets of each of the 3, then 3 sets of each of the 3, then 2 sets, and then finally 1 set. Okay? So here's your 3 exercises. We've got 2 of these circuits to do, and then Terminator finisher. So, right. Circuit 1. Right, you're doing get-ups, tuck jumps, bit of an all-rounder. So you're going to start on the knees, hands go up, somewhere away, you don't need to go on your head, away. Okay, so you're not, what we don't want is that. Okay, so hands up, step up, tuck jump. Okay, your hands can go down there, and then back down to the knees. So I'm leading with my right side. Okay, stand up, tuck jump, back to the knees. Okay? And just swap every set, swap your lead side, okay? So that's leading left foot, so the left knee goes down, left foot comes up. Okay, big tuck. Okay, the tuck jump doesn't have to be that high, even if you're doing a little half tuck. Okay, or if you're new, any type of jump. Obviously new people starting all the time online, a little jump is fine. So 4 sets of that. Then we move on to number 2. This is a good one. Tough one, but again we can adjust this. So, if you're a beginner or you've never done it before, you do this version. So prone, jacks, okay? So, that's in this position. From the side, you need to look like this, almost like your shoulders are over your fingers. You don't want to be like this. Okay, there. And then feet out, and back in. And keeping the body straight, okay? So we don't want this, okay? And your next stage, if you want to go the other way and scale it up, make it tougher, you're going to do an ISO press-up pro jack. Extremely tough, but really, really good. Really hits the chest. So, you go into your push-up. Remember, you're an arrowhead, not a T. Yeah, pull your shoulders down. Okay, hands are level with lower chest, that's your perfect push-up position. Okay, down you come in and lock in your elbows, and then you in and out. I'm just holding myself, you can see that, a couple of inches from the ground. Extremely hard, but you're holding your whole body weight for those few seconds as your legs leave the floor. You're lifting everything in that position, it's not easy. Okay, but it is really, really effective. You can have a go. Let's do 1 or 2 sets like that, and then when you've reached failure, go to your normal prone jacks, or you can just do prone jacks from the start. It's up to you. Give yourself a challenge and stick with it. Right, your last one, your third one, we're doing bow strikes. A bit of core now, so you've got a heavy and low, you've got a lower body one, you've got an upper body and a core on this circuit. A bit of shoulders in this one as well though. So in that third position, dumbbells up here, sort of cheekbone level. Then you just do little punches over the knees. So you just get that little twist on the torso there, getting the obliques in. Okay. That's it. Holding the legs up. You can always drop the weight on that. And just do it hands free. And almost the same effect anyway. Okay, so there's your 3. 4 sets on each. 3 sets. 2 sets, 1 set done, we'll move to the next one. Right. Here we go. Just need a mat. Get ready. Now, remember the idea is about that. You do as many as you can. Okay? So, you pace yourself as you need to. If you can go for it, great. If you can't, you don't feel like it, that's fine. You go to your level, okay? So, let me just set the time there. 30 sets in total. So it's, once you get that first round out of the way, it does go pretty quick, okay? breather. Okay, we're going to do, after you've had a little rest and a drink of water, we'll do another one of those. Three different exercises. We're doing low clap burpee. Renegade row, squat thrust, and jab press. Okay? Right. Have a breather. Sweaty one today. We're not used to this in England. We're used to rain, cold. We're not used to this. Right. So the next circuit is, well, maybe tougher, maybe, I don't know. You can be the judge. Exercise 1. So low clap burpee if you can. Although if you're a beginner, regular burpees are fine. The low clap burpee, you're literally on your belly at the bottom like this, you can see. Then, clap low. So it forces you to get all the way down. And it works around the shoulder blades as well. Good for the shoulder mobility. So that's exercise 1. Exercise 2. Renegade row squat thrust. Now we're only using light dumbbells, so it ain't going to be a max renegade row by any means, I know that. But to make it work as much as possible, bring it to the hip. Okay, and that'll work, engage the lats as much as you possibly can with the weight you have, as opposed to just doing that. Okay, there. Okay, that's like you're drawing back and low. Almost like you're bringing the elbow round. And that's you'll get a real good engagement on that there. And after every rep, you do a squat thrust. So, there you go. In with the knees out. Pull. In, out, pull. Okay? That's exercise 2. Exercise 3, jab press. Again, you're going to need a lot. So as you press, you do that jab movement with your feet again. So there, up. Okay? If you struggle with that, if your back hurts or anything like that, you've got a bit of imbalances, just do side step press. Okay? Right, that's your 3. Let's get ready. Good. Right. So, 4 sets first then. Get ready then. Low clap burpee. Here we go. 3.
Never be controlled by you, but it's got my soul. Sticky electric cord, it waits to fill my core. Straight from the needle. coming back to you. Deep down, and I'm gonna draw me the tide. No mind, 'cause I like the view. And anyway, I could never leave if I tried this poisonous work for you. Quick stop, putting with no big guys, sending me his love. But it's subtle abuse. I get lost, distant voices, and they get me high like heroin. I think I found my poison. No, that's my medicine. It's like a constant craving, and it gets me high like heroin. Toxic love like poison, but that's my medicine.
Into the hip. Engage our lats.
Saw you lady, Gucci and Fendi, who you with tonight, sugar baby. Saw you lady, heads in the frenzy, we can go freaking, we can go crazy. Saw you lady, Gucci and Fendi, who you with tonight, sugar baby. Saw you lady, heads in the frenzy, we can go freaking, we can go crazy. Sexy, sexy, loves to kill, yeah, sexy, sexy, loves to kill, sexy, sexy, loves to kill, yeah, sexy, sexy, loves to kill, sexy, sexy, loves to kill, yeah, sexy, sexy, loves to kill, sexy, sexy, loves to kill, yeah, sexy, sexy, sugar baby.
Right, one more. Back to the start now. And you may want to step, but don't rush and get one, because I'd say 60% of the people who get the step out end up not using it anyway, for reasons I'll explain in a second. Right, quick the world away. We've got Terminator, Rise of the Machines, is the finisher. Now, for most people, all beginners, everybody who started this program within the last 6 months don't get a step out. Unless you are ultra mobile and you've been doing yoga years, then perhaps okay. Okay? But if you started this in the last 6 months, no step. Okay? Well, I'll show you, you can decide, I suppose. Right, Rise of the Machines, the Terminator finisher. Right, I'll show you without a step. The bell's going to go for 9 sets of 30 seconds. Right, every set of 30-second plank, I'm going to rise up. Okay? Ideally like a machine. You might not look like a machine after all that though. Up on your hands. Walk. Rise up. Lunge on the right. Lunge back on the left. Hands back down. Back to plank. All without touching your knees to the floor, ideally. Okay, if you get too tired, you do. The next time you do it, try it without. Now, trust me, that's hard enough. You do 9 sets. Okay? If you want to make it harder, get yourself a step. Okay? But you must be very mobile around the hips. If you can't squat to like this depth, you've no point getting a step out. Because that's what you need to do, look. So I'm coming back, I'll come up off my plank, I'm coming back. See, I need to get there. It's very difficult if you're not mobile around the hips. And I'm doing a deficit lunge, so I'm going deep to the floor, so it's even harder. And if you want it even harder, you step up even higher, okay? But as I say, that's only for the people who are very, very mobile around their hips and can get into that very, very deep squat position. If you can't, just leave it. Okay, right. Okay. So, select your face. Okay, everybody happy with their choice? So most people, you won't need a step. Now, so remember what you're trying to focus on is not dropping to the knees. Okay? First time doing it, you're probably going to. If you've done this a few times, and you've been doing these total fitness classes a few months, really try and stay up and just use your hands to get up, no knees to the floor for the whole 9 sets. Right. Right. So, 2 Terminator tracks played, feeding from 1 and 2 to give us 9 sets. Okay, right, so get ready to go in your plank. Okay. Seconds. Nice and straight. Like a piece of iron. 10 seconds. Get ready to rise in 3, 2, up. Well done, everybody. Oh my God. Drenched. Mobility. Coming right up. In a couple of minutes. Deep stretches for half an hour. Stick around for that. I won't see you now until next Saturday. Okay? Do some more ones. Keep it going, and I'll see you in 2 minutes. Well done, everyone. Thank you. And I'll see you in a week. If I don't see you in 2 minutes. Yeah.